So back in February, Netflix released their newest dating reality show, Love is Blind. Because this is what the world's come to, I guess. I mean, we're all stuck inside all day and no one knows what's going on. And Netflix's answer is literal garbage. But still, I've been getting a lot of requests to do Love is Blind, and I was planning on just completely ignoring this show. Because I mean, like, sure, I do videos on teen rom-coms and Disney Channel movies or whatever, but even I have standards, okay, everybody? Who am I kidding? No, I don't. And so, because we have nothing better to do, let's check it out and see what everyone's talking about. The main idea of the show, for those of you lucky enough to have not watched it yet, is basically this. 15 women and 15 men are sent to this like dystopian future Black Mirror bunker to talk and get to know each other without ever seeing what the other person looks like.
Your value is often judged solely by the photo on your dating app.
True.
But everyone wants to be loved for who they are, not for their looks, their race, their background, or their income.
Psychologists believe that emotional connection is the key to long-term marital success.
Oh yeah, also, if that wasn't enough, the show was hosted by Nick Lachey from 98 Degrees. I mean, come on, 10 out of 10. Greatest show of all time.
You're gonna interact in one of the private pods. You're gonna be separated by one thin wall.
Now, once you choose the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, you'll propose. If they accept, you will finally get to see your fiancé for the very first time. This literally is the first time an experiment like this has ever been done.
You know, it's funny you say that because the whole world's just kind of doing the same thing right now. I mean, only texting and talking, but like never really knowing what the other person looks like. Love is Blind is just life in 2020 at this point.
We all have to remember this central question. Is love truly blind?
Well, okay, you might be giving yourself a little too much credit there, right? I mean, right from the get-go, I can tell you, this show's really just gonna be about, do people who peaked in high school ever develop an actual personality? And just a slight spoiler here, but turns out the answer is not really. But you know, before we even get into the show, like, I'm already kind of skeptical about the whole thing because, I mean, look at these people. The whole point of the show is like, what if looks didn't matter? But clearly they do, okay? Because, I mean, everyone in the show is at least like a 6.5, so what's really going on here? What they should have done is had half of each group be like all gorgeous or whatever, and then the other half just kind of look like me, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so after this long drawn-out intro, our little band of Hallmark Channel rejects go into the pods, and the show actually gets going. Now, like I said, there's 30 people here, so obviously I can't talk about all of them. So I'm just gonna focus on a couple of choice examples.
My name is Jessica Batten. I'm from Rock Falls, Illinois. I've had a rigid set of standards. I would only date a guy between 1 to 5 years older. I would only date athletes, but I'm 34 years old, and I may not find someone based on the criteria that I've put in place for myself.
I mean, yeah, you know, if you look like this and you're 34 but still just can't find the right guy, might not only be the guy's fault, okay, that's all I'm saying. To be fair, not everyone's interested in getting married and all that, and that's perfectly fine, but clearly she is, right? Now, being a guy who's also in his 30s, I've been around the block enough times to finally wise up about girls kind of like Jessica over here. I only date rich athletes because I'm a catch. I was prom queen in high school 12 years ago, and I've been riding that my whole life. I expect you to give me 110% all the time, and then maybe I'll give you like 15% a couple times a week, so come on, what do you say? Water balloon. Now, there are quite a few other amazing people on this show, like this, for example.
Oh my God. I hate being able to hear people breathe.
Yeah, okay. But then we get Amber.
My name is Amber Pike. I am 26 and I'm from Augusta, Georgia. A lot of people don't take me seriously because I ain't ugly.
Okay. I mean, true, but also, like, can you imagine having that much self-esteem? All of the things I could do if I didn't look in the mirror every morning and just cry for like 3 hours.
Trust me, lack of confidence is not a weakness of mine.
Anyway, so moving on from this, after a while, Amber gets in a pod with this guy, Barnett.
I'm Barnett.
Is that your first name or your last?
My last name.
Yeah, a lot of my friends call me Pike. It's kind of an Army thing, but they also did it in cheerleading.
Okay, so you're in the Army.
I was.
And you were a cheerleader.
I enlisted in the Georgia Army Guard when I was 17. I'm so used to like running with the boys. Like I'm just so off the wall crazy sometimes.
I feel like bragging about how off the wall crazy you are really only works until you like leave college or whatever. Cause like if someone in their late 20s said that to me, I'd just be like, but anyway, so they Jimmy Fallon fake laugh back and forth for a while, and then we learn some shocking information about Barnett.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so I always go for pretty girls.
Who says this?
Usually I only date women I'm attracted to.
You don't say! Like anyone expected this dude to go on a show like this and be like, well, you know me, always going for them Quasimodo girls. So the conversation goes on for a while. They talk about a whole bunch of dumb stuff, like who cares, whatever. And then sometime after this, Barnett gets in a pod with Jessica, and I am ready for this.
I have a serious question for you around intimacy.
Ooh, yeah.
What do you think about dogs in the bed?
I am one.
It's okay. Okay, back it up, Barnett. That's enough. And also, just a quick aside here for a second, but like, what does this phrase even mean? I'm a dog in bed? So like what, you run in your sleep and fart all night? Like, that's a weird thing to brag about. So the day goes on and Barnett talks to several girls, I assume, and then we get to his little exit interview thing.
There were some good voices. I think Jessica had a nice voice.
What? Excuse me? Are we talking about the same Jessica?
Hello. It's crazy. Let's just get right down to it. I'm Jessica. What's yours? Really sexy voice and laugh.
This right here. This is what does it for you, huh, Barnett? But anyway, so this all continues on, and of course, some people start having connections, and they all talk about like
Super deep.
stuff and all that. And Jessica kind of summarizes what this whole experience is like.
There's never been a time in my life when I've been able to really focus solely on finding love. Here in the experiment, you spend every second of every minute searching for your soulmate.
Oh, trust me, Jessica, I totally get it. I mean, that was pretty much me all through high school. Just every day walking the halls like, hello? Anybody interested? I brought Twizzlers. So as the show goes on, we start getting a little bit of a love triangle going on between Jessica, Barnett, and this other guy, Mark, who fits none of Jessica's criteria whatsoever. But shockingly, turns out when you lock 30 people in some underground bunker and give them nothing to do but talk to each other, some weird stuff starts happening.
I'm the happiest I've been in a very long time. It's not everything, but I'm on cloud 9.
Jessica.
I came into this being open-minded to the idea that I could possibly find love. What's exciting is that I feel like I've found a person I can spend the rest of my life with in a very short period of time.
But at the same time, Barnett's over here just like, dude, look at me, I'm Mark, I have a real connection with Jessica. And now he's done playing games, all right? So Barnett and Jessica go into the pods later that day, I think, and talk about feelings and stuff.
I feel like you don't know where my head is. I think, you just got done with Mark? He was so sure of everything, and that scared me.
What?
You've been high on my list since the beginning. You are my yin to my yang.
I'm 34 years old and no one has ever said those words to me.
Yeah, Jessica, no one's ever said that to you before because no one worth talking to ever talks like that. But all the same, the episode ends with Barnett being very mature about the whole thing and giving Jessica an ultimatum that she has to pick either him or Mark by tomorrow. And then while this is all going on, these two people that I didn't really talk about, they end up getting engaged after, let me just check here, 4 days. So yeah, welcome to 2020, everybody. And then the show goes on and everyone pretty much ends up getting engaged to someone, but the real experiment starts when they all have to start living together and meeting their families, and she finds out that he puts the toilet paper in like this, or he opens up her top drawer and he's like, wow, you're really into massages, huh? And then all of us watching this have to scoop our brains up off the floor and somehow continue living our lives knowing that this show exists. So, thanks, Netflix. One sort of like rule I have with these videos or whatever I guess you could call it is like I try to never make fun of real people because, you know, usually what I do teen dramas and rom-coms, Riverdale, whatever it is, right? And like, you know, I make jokes about the characters and like, you know, what they say, what they do, whatever, because like the script is written by a group of writers and then what's happening is done by a director and cinematographer, whatever. So like the actual actors themselves don't really have a whole lot of influence on what happens and what they say and don't say, like for the most part. And so making fun of Archie or Jughead or whatever, it's like, you know, they're not real people. They're actors playing these characters, and I kind of make jokes about the character they're playing, but I don't make jokes about like the actual actors themselves, right? And so in making this video, I was kind of going back and forth with myself because it's like, it's a reality show and, you know, these are real people who are doing this, but at the same time, it's like just by the nature of the show itself, like everyone's putting on a character, you know, like in real life, if you actually met Jessica or Barnett or whatever, like I'm sure they'd be completely different people, I hope. If not, then Lord help us. And so at first I was kind of hesitant because like, should I make jokes about this? Because like they are kind of real people, but then again, like, it's a reality show where it's kind of scripted and edited in a way to like tell a certain kind of story that usually didn't actually happen, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, I kind of rationalized it in a way where it's like they're real people, but they're all kind of acting, and the show is portraying these people in like a completely different way than they actually are. So like I'm making fun of and making jokes about like what's on the screen, but like I don't necessarily mean it as a way to be like, oh, Barnett is a bad person or Jessica is a stupid dum-dum, whatever. Like I don't mean like that, like in real life. I'm just talking about like in the context of the show. I don't know if any of you guys even care about that, but that's something I always try and follow the rule about not making fun of real people, just making fun of characters. And so with a dating reality show, it's kind of like, yeah, there's kind of a line you have to walk where like I don't want to go too far, but I also kind of, because these people are really weird, so you know, what are you gonna do? But anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell so I didn't miss any videos from me. Follow me on Twitter. Let me know what's your favorite part of the video, or what video I should do next, or just say hi, whatever, that's fine too. Follow Charlie on Instagram, Charlie Meets Pumpkin. Charlie has a TikTok now, Charlie_mom. It's in the description below. And above all else, everybody have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.